Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Series. My name is Jody Maley, and I've been an entrepreneur and business owner for over 27 years now. Thanks for joining the podcast, and I can't wait to share with you tips and ideas on how to grow your heart-centered entrepreneur business. As a personality dimensions coach, I help entrepreneurs discover who they are at their core so they can have real and authentic sales conversations with their ideal clients. We all started or joined a business so that we can make an income on our terms. Whether you're just starting out in your entrepreneur journey or have been in sales for a while, the key to any business is sales and nurturing the sales relationship. So I invite you to sit back, relax, maybe even have your favorite drink and take some notes as we have fun delving in to learn more from the top 1% to 2% income earners who are making such a difference and impact for themselves and their beautiful teams. Their tips and ideas will uplift and inspire you in a heart-centered, authentic way to help lift you up, move you forwards towards your perfect dream and goal. So stay tuned to the end of each podcast as I will share a little gift from me that I know will get you inspired in your beautiful business. Hi, this is Jody Maley with the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Series, and I have a real special guest here today. You know what? I say that for everyone, but I really think that everyone is a special guest and has something to say to the world. And I just recently got to know Cheryl here, who's going to be our guest today. A few months ago, I guess it was, that we first connected. And Cheryl is one of those people that I thought, how is it that we did not connect? Because we literally had the exact same leader in one of the very first network marketing direct sales companies that we were both with. Like, we literally had the same leader. I don't know how we didn't connect then, but it just was a weird overlay of timing. And I'm like, you know what? But I'm so blessed to have met her and have her share today a little bit about her story. So I'll let you introduce yourself, Cheryl, and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Jody, for having me. I agree with you that everybody is special. I really, truly do. I think we all bring something to the plate in business, or to the plate of friendship, or to the plate of family, whatever that is. And we all have something special to contribute. So I agree with you there 100%. So thank you again for having me, Jody. It's going to be a pleasure being with you here today on this time. My name is Cheryl Bishop. I founded Resilient Women in Business in 2018. And honestly, I'm a firm believer that things happen to us, like not to us, like they happen for us, not to us, in a sense of, there was a situation that happened in my life that I kept hearing one word while I'm driving down the road, taking my dog for a walk or going to the grocery store. And that word was resilient. And I heard it over and over and again. And it was basically a sign for me to launch a business called Resilient Women in Business.
I love that. And you know what? That was the exact same, again, how we did not meet. It was the exact same thing for me with Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. Like, that just kept coming from all different sides. And I thought, this is definitely a sign of, what you're supposed to do. And that kind of speaks from, both from the head and to the heart as well.
100%. I don't want to classify myself as a coach. I classify myself as an educator more than a coach, because I have programs about accountability. And one of the ladies just the other day, where we were talking about it, and we were talking about our intuition. Like, we really can tap into our higher self intuition that can really direct us in life. And she listens, but she doesn't activate. And I said, that's where the magic is when you activate what you hear, magic happens, because now it's like the universe or the intuition goes, oh, okay, you're actually taking a movement here. You're actually moving forward. So I want to give you more ideas, and I want to direct you in the right way. Right. So we talked about it, and she says, okay, Cheryl, I think I'm getting it now. I have to take action.
And what I'll put one step onto that: inspired action.
Yeah.
There was, a few years ago, part of my journey, I think there's catalytic moments that you and I both have experienced where we can be, you know what, this was a turning point. This is what made me have, like, I hate that word pivot because everybody's using pivot, but a turning point in our life. And we could all probably recall like 3 or 4 that really made a major difference in my life. And one was an incident that I had a few years ago. My husband was working up north. We were in central BC living, and I was starting to have like heart stuff, like physical heart stuff. And I'm like, I'm here with my 2 littles. Like we have 6 children, and the 4 older ones were already kind of out in other parts of the world. But we still had our 2 littles that we shared together at home, and they were 3 and 5 at the time. And it was such a scary thing for me because I was like, if something literally happens, like while my husband's out of town, I don't want my kids to wake up and find mom, right? It was like a weird thing. But that brought me around to The Secret. And I thought, I have to change how I'm thinking. And so that book, I read it, and I read other stuff. And I actually became part of an affiliate program for learning. I think it was like a 90-day one of learning how to ignite your inner passions and stuff like that, and self-development I never even heard of before. And this is where I took that one step further, because I'm like, why is, all these people are talking about it, but they're not doing it. And then that's where I came, like I had this, I get lots of clarity with, having like small visions of stuff. And then that was one of them, where it was like a ball, that you take a ball, and if you just drop the ball, the ball bounces down and only comes, maybe halfway up, maybe to your hand sometimes. But I take it that if you take what you're supposed to be doing, your drive in life, your vision, whatever you want to call it, and then you have it this way. And for those, if this is on, you can't see us. I'm holding it like the ball. I'm going to throw it up in the air. And so if you throw it up in the air, it bounces and always comes back to your hand. And to me, that's how I get people to envision that inspired action, because we could have all the knowledge and we throw that out to the world and expect it to come back to us. But unless you have that little bit of inspired action, then that's when magic happens.
I agree. 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so tell me a little bit more about, your journey now. I know that you've been in previous network marketing companies, and that you've also joined hands with some self-development companies, if I'm not correct. And now what you're doing
Yes.
now.
Yeah. So, direct sales is the most fantastic self-development you could ever really do, right? Because right. So I did a few, I dabbled in quite a few, and my most successful one was with Party Like Gifts one time, way back in the day. And that was the most successful and the most growing I did. I did it for 15 years. And I was able to do that direct sales company business while I was raising my kids. So many direct sales, especially for women, they will want to contribute to, of course, the income for a household. However, when we have children, we also feel obliged to take care of them and be available for them. So it was really a win-win for my family and my husband, where he was working during the day and I can be out at night. So I did that. But I love how life always can direct you when you listen, because all of a sudden I lost my passion for what I was doing. And it was really hard for me because I had started so many women in the business and I had leaders all over. And then I didn't want to disappoint anyone, being female, didn't want to disappoint anyone. And so my team finally came up to me and said, "We noticed something's a little off, Cheryl." And I said, "I got to be honest, I've lost my passion. It feels like God is trying to direct me somewhere else. And I'm having a struggle." It actually took me 2 years to finally let it go. It took me 2 years to go, okay, I'm going to listen. And then I hooked up with a friend of mine at the time where he wanted to start a business academy. So I saw the vision. I told him we will be the basically a university kind of thing, an academy for business owners one day. That's where I'm aiming for. Let's build the city here. Let's build another city in Alberta. Let's build Ontario. And so eventually we did that. And so that we were assisting a lot of business owners in a lot of different communities to grow personally and professionally, because that's one of the missing links. We have to grow personally to really get to the next level we want.
Yeah. And then what grew into now Women Resilient Women?
Yeah, I get all downloads on what I'm supposed to do with resilient women in business. It was one day, gosh, it was probably January 2018. I was driving down the street, beautiful. It was a sunny morning. The sun was shining and driving down at 7 a.m. on 192. I'll never forget it. And I just had this thought, pull over and do a Facebook Live. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to say. And it almost felt like somebody was guiding me, like, I'll help you pull over to make sure you do it. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I have learned to listen in my life. I have so many stories I could share when I didn't learn and go, oh, should have listened. So I learned to listen. I pull over, I turn on my phone and I go, to all you women entrepreneurs out there, I just want to tell you that I'm your biggest cheerleader. God seems to be doing something here. I have no idea what. I feel like I'm supposed to support you, but I haven't figured it out yet. I don't know if it's events. I have no idea what it is, but I just felt so compelled to just let you know. I want to wish you all the success, and I am your biggest cheerleader. And that's all I did. Well, then I had women message me, let me know what it is when you figure it out. So it was 2 months later, I figured out I am going to do a mastermind group, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to let these ladies, these first 10 ladies that message me, I'm going to reply to them, say, okay, I figured it out. I'm going to do a mastermind group, and I'll be honest, I'm building it as I go. And so they asked price point. I said $20 a meeting per person. Are you in or are you out? And they all said yes, because I wanted 10. So the first 10 that said yes was my very first group that I started.
That's amazing.
And then that's like we say, inspired action, right?
Yes.
You do it. And so I'm building it as I go. And then I had a dream. I had this dream that I'm supposed to do these monthly events. It didn't really say what monthly events, it just said monthly events. I woke up from that dream and honestly put my hands on my hips and went, I have no time for monthly events. I have no time. I'm traveling across the country right now. I don't have time. Besides, I don't even know what kind of monthly events these are. And I left it alone. Left it alone. So a few weeks later, one of my mastermind ladies said, Cheryl, her name is Rosalia, can we have a conversation after everybody else leaves? I just want to talk to you. And so we sat at that time, I rented an office downtown Langley. That's where I live. And we were sitting in a chair almost knee to knee. And so we talked about what she wanted to talk about. And so I felt so compelled. I said, Rosalia, I got to share a dream I had just a couple of weeks ago. And I had this dream that I'm supposed to put these monthly events on for women. And I woke up and I basically put my hands on my hips and said, I have no time to do that. Plus, I don't even know what kind of monthly events they are. I just shared it with her. She said the best thing. And I'm leaning into her while she's talking. She says, so Cheryl, are you telling me that if God gave you that dream, you're saying no? And I looked at her and I leaned back and I crossed my arms and I went, shit, I have to put these monthly events on. I don't even know what they are. Right.
That's how they start. Like that's how those nudges and those things from the universe are very, sometimes I always kind of joke that I don't listen all the time to those nudges. And so for me, sometimes they're that great big plank in the face and before I actually listen. And so like having that heart thing, that was a wake-up call for me. That was you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now listen to me. And I think for top people who do get to the top 1% to 2% of their current companies, because that's kind of the gist of this podcast and how we can help women who are thinking, can I be this person? And of course, you and I both know the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
And those women who've gotten to those top 1% to 2%, I will guarantee, and I know that you'll probably, say this is true as well. Those people have invested in themselves. They have invested in themselves both personally. They have invested in themselves in a business wise. They've invested in themselves for personal development. They have invested and hit the button to, make a step forward, a leap of faith in a lot of cases. And this is why I want this podcast, is to be supportive of women entrepreneurs, no matter where you're at, but just to be the cheerleader and be, you can do this. You know enough, you're good enough, and there are women who can support you.
100%. 100%. You know, I have some women say, "Oh, she's so lucky. She's so," no, it has nothing to do with luck. We cannot see what another person has, either their experience. We can't see the personal growth development they've done. We can't see that. We can't see how many times in their world maybe they failed and they kept going. We can't see that. So from the outside, it looks easy. We don't know. So that's what Tony Robbins always says. We get rewarded in public for what we've done in private.
Oh, absolutely. I love that saying from him too. And bear in mind, like, we've been doing this collectively, both of us. I've been doing this 27 years, and I think your journey has been just as long. And we didn't just start out going, oh, I think that I'll help people in this, this, and this. There was a journey, there was a process, and there's still those steps forward that we're making for all women entrepreneurs, which is why, yeah, I just love this about you. So,
Oh, well, thank you.
and so we're going to wrap this up because this is just a quick, short podcast to get to know you. You have, of course, a website. Where can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, the website is resilientwomeninbusiness.com. So
Okay.
there, or Facebook or Instagram, pretty much anywhere. You could Google Resilient Women in Business, it'll pop up. And if you happen to live in some of the cities that we have events, like let's say it's Vancouver, you Google Vancouver Resilient Women in Business and that event will pop up. So it's all over the place.
It's all over. And we, of course, will have a link to this with your beautiful picture and what we talked about today. Now, Cheryl also is blessing us with a little bit of training that we're going to be putting together as our first package as well. So we have some experts already who are in the top 1% to 2% of their companies. Cheryl's going to be doing some training that you can access as well. And I actually have a couple of owners who will be speaking at our first one here too. So we'll be packaging that for you guys as well too. So really, really great getting to know you, getting to know a little bit more of your vision and who you serve. And I'm so happy that we're in the same kind of direction, even though mine's more, women in direct sales, and Cheryl is here to serve all entrepreneur women in business who need to level up in their business, or maybe doesn't have an idea of where to start. And I have a feeling that that's what Cheryl supports and does.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it was an honor having you here. I can't wait to work more with you. And I just feel like this is just the start of some great collaborations between the two of us and supporting each other. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone. And this is Jody Maley with the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Series. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. God bless. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned a lot. Each one of my guests have a special and unique spot in my heart as they have shared what they love about their business and how they truly have grown in their entrepreneur journey. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and I would love to gift to you a fun and easy quiz that you can take right now that will help you assess how you feel about the sales process in your beautiful business. Building relationships, lifting each other up so we can all gain more in our lives and our business is what is truly important to me. And my hope is that in some small way, I've been able to do that for you today. So again, this is Jody Maley with the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Series here in beautiful BC, Canada. Truly have a great and inspired rest of your day. The link to the quiz will be attached below. And please like, follow, and share this podcast if it inspired you today.